Make Music Day, Seattle, broadcasting live on Rainier Avenue Radio World, Wednesday, June 21st, from noon to 10 p.m.
There will be all types of music and all kinds of performances.
And every kind of musician, that's young and old, amateur, professional, every music persuasion will fill the streets, parks, plazas, porches, rooftops, gardens, everywhere, and other public spaces to celebrate, create, and share their music with friends, neighborhoods, and strangers.
This is completely different from a traditional music festival. Day activities are free and open to anyone wanting to participate.
And did somebody say shopping? Well, there'll be vendor booths inside the Columbia City Theater from 4 to 10 and on the waterfront from noon to 6 to support local Black businesses.
If you can't make it down, watch and listen live all day on Rainier Avenue Radio World, Wednesday, June 21st from noon to 10.
All events are free.
This is Brenda Charles Edwards, host of Seniors Matter. Join me every week to get information on activities and issues that impact the lives of older adults and their families. That's Seniors Matter every week on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Celebrate Juneteenth with Atlantic Street Center. Atlantic Street Center is excited to have you join our annual Juneteenth celebration on Saturday, June 17th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The event will be held on the plaza at the Rainier Beach Community Center, which is at the intersection of Rainier Avenue South and Henderson Street. Program highlights include the amazing vocals of Josephine Howe. There'll also be a special Black Wall Street presentation by Sequina Alexander, whose grandfather, James O. Goodwin, was the youngest entrepreneur on Black Wall Street and owned Tulsa's only Black newspaper. There'll also be the inaugural Legends Award, which will honor Larry Gossett, Eddie Wright Jr., Elmer, and Aaron Dixon. Free food and beverages will be provided for event participants, and if you can't make it, you can watch the entire celebration on Rainier Avenue Radio World, Saturday, June 17th at the Rainier Beach Plaza and live on Rainier Avenue Radio from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Celebrate Juneteenth with Atlantic Street Center.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio World, and on Twitter at Rainier Ave Radio.
All right, we are cooking. So is George Benson. That's George Benson, folks. Cookbook album. We are cooking, and my co-cooker is with me, Brenda Charles Edwards.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going. It is hot as the blazes in my office. 80, 70. Oh man! Even though it was cool outside, it always is like 70 or 80, 70 plus. It's 76 degrees in my office. Whew, yeah, Reverend Brooks he's in. I just told him, don't forget to turn on your mic and your camera, and I hope we can get him on. So I invited Reverend Tony Brooks. Many of you know him from the community, and Brenda, you know him. And it was so ironic that he ran into my wife and my sister-in-law, who's also Reverend Pamela Grace, who's also an ordained minister. But I told you a little bit about Tony, and I'll let him speak for himself. But he and his brother came to the East Madison Y years and years and years ago. And it was like, these were two young men who, just happened to be in the neighborhood, but they were so nice, very mannerly, very respectful, he and his brother. And that always made an impression on me. And they would come up and, they'd carouse with all the guys there, guys like Ernie Buchanan, Kenny Cooper, Bruce Harrell, our mayor, was one of the guys that we all hung around at the East Madison Y. And so, it was really, really rewarding to see him, move on and become an entrepreneur, his own businessman, and being involved in the community and the church. So I wanted to invite him in because he is in Columbia City. The Brooks Family Barber Shop is right there on 5222 Rainier Avenue South in here in Columbia City. So let's bring him, Reverend Tony. I hope you can get your camera and your mic on because I know you were in. Come on in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. It says audio only. You got your camera? Do you have a camera that works? We'll get you in on the if we can get your camera. If not, either way, audio is good. But thank you for coming on, Reverend Brooks. And I know you had a full day at the shop. You are you says device is not connected. Now it says device is not connected. We're having a connection problem. But every time I walk by there or drive by there,
You walk with her?
well,
Okay, sorry.
well, that was in the good old days. But
Well, he
now
hadn't been there for a while. That's true.
yeah, now when I
Can you hear
drive
me?
by, yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. Hello.
You're connected. Hey, hello, Reverend Brooks. Are you able to come on with a mic with a camera? Yes or no?
No, I guess I'm not sure. It said start camera here, but
Go ahead on. Well, we got your audio, so at least we got that. So thank you, Reverend Brooks, for being our guest. Uh-oh. Are you off again?
You probably should have just let him stick with the auto.
Yeah, Reverend Brooks, just go with the audio. What the heck?
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
Well, don't mess it up. I won't have you mess it up by having you do the video. But people need to. I'll do it right now.
That's all right. That's all right.
This is part of the picture. There you are, right here. But I don't know why I'm off the screen.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go to a larger screen or whatever.
I see.
You're on the.
I see you, and I see a big face behind you, but it's not Tony's. His
No,
is to the left.
that is one of my clients. That's Sister Grace.
Right. So, anyways,
All right.
yeah. Thank you again for taking the time. You had a busy day. I was telling Brenda, in those days when I did walk by, we had our studio just a few doors up from your shop. Do you ever not have anybody in your shop? Every time I go by there, it's primary seating, everybody's seated or everybody's hanging around. I mean, that's great. And it's like a
Yes.
focal point. But anyways, let's go real quick. I want to then turn it over to Brenda, because when you guys came up from Texas, correct? You and your brother
Yes.
or your family.
1970. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1970. You came up to the East Madison. Well, I know one of the places you came to was the East Madison Y.
That's where we met.
You got and like I said, you guys were always respectful of the building. Got along well with all the guys. At least that's what I know. We all played ball. They all played ball in the all-purpose room. Then they went swimming and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And let me ask you this: what brought your family to Seattle, if I could ask?
My father, the late Robert Houston, he worked at Boeing. He was in the Air Force. And so when he got out, we moved to the Pacific Northwest. So we came up here in July of 1970, and we've been here ever since.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, Brenda. I know.
No, that's okay. I was just thinking, I'm trying to remember what year I met you, Tony, or should I say Reverend Tony?
Reverend Brooks.
Reverend Brooks. Okay.
You made me, it's been about 25 years or more.
Yes.
In the community. Probably more. But I love you very much. I love both of you mentors in my life. And it's just good to be speaking to you tonight in community.
It is. It's been a long time.
In Columbia City?
Yeah. Well, that's the place to be right now,
Yes, it is. Let's get cooking.
So,
Tony, what kind of services do you offer for your clients?
For my clients, we specialize in traditional and contemporary haircuts. Anybody that comes along, if you got a job, we specialize in that. And if you don't, we try to encourage you to come in and get a cut so that you can get a job. And then once you get a job, don't forget us.
Right.
But we've been in business since 1992.
Mm-hmm.
So about how many clients do you think you have, Tony?
How many do I have?
Do you know?
In the last 27 years, it's been a lot. I have over 300 sons or more that have graduated from the Brooks Family Barber Shop.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is great.
So /barber/father/ mentor.
Mentor.
Right.
I get that from you, John.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, maybe, but
East
I might have.
Madison YMCA.
Yeah, East
Learn
Madison.
how to swim and backstroke.
Yeah, but
Play basketball. Huh?
I may have pushed you. I may have pointed you in direction, but you took it from there. And like I said, it always begins with family. It's obvious you came from a
Family
good family.
first. When you
Good
come
family.
from Texas, you come with honor and respect.
Yep.
I don't care if you're an hour older than me, a day older than me, you honor and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Something our community is missing.
Mm-hmm. And then, well, you always struck me as being very, like I said, involved in the community, and you got involved in the community. Your family, everybody knows who your nephew is, Aaron, NBA star, and he's currently coaching in the NBA right now. I think with the New York Nets, or the Nets, I think, or something like that. But you growing up, your general impression, of course, when you came up from Texas, you came to a city that was largely, overwhelmingly white. I think that was first thing you knew, but you lived in the central area, so it kind of gave you a different. Did you have any thoughts about that you lived in a city
I was young and I had a culture shock because I grew up in the black projects in West Dallas. So I had never been around Caucasian people or white people. There was Hispanics, there was a black neighborhood, and there was a Hispanic neighborhood. We called it Mexican back then the day. But that's how we came up. And when we came to Seattle, it's so liberal out here. We just fit right in, and we believe that when we got in touch with the East Madison YMCA and Miller Recreation, there was you guys being a mentor to us, which we didn't. We had that in Dallas, but we didn't have it like you guys had it. Like to go and play in basketball and be in there. We didn't have. We used to play basketball with a orange juice carton.
Oh my God!
And some rocks in a can, in an old trash can. That's how we learned how to play basketball.
Well, you guys learned well. All of you guys.
Well, back there you had to fight.
Yeah, no. Well, I know West Oak Cliff, East Coast, and West Oak Cliff.
Oak Cliff,
right?
yeah, we stayed at Oak Cliff Fish Trap.
That's the ghetto in Dallas. I know.
God rest my great auntie, rest her soul, Luann Hyder. She just passed away Saturday. She's a patriot in our family at 89 years old. Thank you.
So sorry.
And God blessed us, to have her. She was the last one out of 13 siblings of my grandmother, and we'll be getting out here to go to lay her to rest pretty soon. But thank God she was an advocate in sports. She was a Dallas Cowboy fan as well as a Laker fan. She said the Lakers, they didn't lose too bad the other night. I said, they didn't lose too bad, auntie. She said, no.
Well, condolences to you. And what a great, what a great legacy. And my wife, you met Phyllis. She went to Bishop. She went to Bishop in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, my mom graduated from Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop College over there on Simpson Stewart Road.
We had the pleasure to see her walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
Two little boys growing up in the projects with mom.
Well, that's great. Bishop College. So growing up, you met, like I said, you, Bruce, all these guys, all the guys in the neighborhood, the Carter, everybody, you guys would fit right in.
Yes.
Did you ever, at that time, did you ever think that you were going to go into the ministry and also be an entrepreneur, your own businessman? What were your thoughts about at that time, if I could ask?
My thoughts coming to Seattle, I always wanted to be an entertainer.
Okay.
See, growing up in the projects, we had soul music, R&B, which is what we called it. And everybody, my uncle was Al Green, B.B. King, and James Brown's bookie.
Oh, really?
So we had to practice in the living room. We never made it out of the living room, but we was the Brooks and Wilson Five, like the Jackson Five.
Oh my gosh!
So we by playing in the projects, we came to Seattle, and up here you guys are so liberal. I had never seen anybody get Gatorade and Snickers at the game playing basketball or football. And the little kids I was like, they get Snickers,
snacks,
while the game is going on. Back home it was yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am. And up here was yeah, no, and what? And I'm like, okay, culture shock, but we good. We just got to go back to that, to our children, where they can have integrity and honor and respect in the community.
That's
Very
great.
true.
Mm-hmm.
But
what called me to the ministry is that I come from a very religious family. We come from Hyder Church of God in Christ. My great grandmother was the mother of the church, Mother Elnora Green. Also, my grandmother, Mother Willie Dale Gwynn. Then my mother, and everybody. We all grew up in Texas. From a childhood, I had a drug problem. That drug problem was they drugged me to church.
They
It
drugged you.
wasn't big mama, it was grandmama. It wasn't grandmama, it was mama. Drugged me to church. So when we got to Seattle, so you guys had more to offer the community because we didn't have a community to offer us like what we have up here.
Oh,
like swimming lessons and things like that. We didn't have that. We go down to the lake, you know.
Which is dangerous because you didn't have a lifeguard down there.
But we had family, we had community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So where did you and your brother go to high school?
We went to Lincoln High School.
Oh, so you that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember you took
bus out. I went to
busted.
Madrona.
Yeah.
That's where I met the Weatherspoons and everybody. We met everybody. We all met together there, and we grew up at Miller Recreation.
Right.
When we wasn't at the Y, we was at Miller.
Right.
You know, class of 77 of Lincoln High School.
Lincoln High School, and then it closed down.
Yeah, Hamilton. We went to Madrona, then we went to Hamilton, and then we went to Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And I followed my brother. That's how I wound up at Lincoln. I was following his path, playing sports and playing music. Then when I got into music, I got at Lincoln High School, and I met Mr. Louis Pucci. The direction of him. Yeah. He was of the band, and I had favor. I was a fan of Curtis Mayfield. And not only that, when Superfly came out and I learned how to play the congas and the percussion, Mr. Pucci gave favor to me. And I played in the senior stage band. And so we had a lot of company. So he gave me favor that we put together a group called Self Together in the community. All the guys was coming around and we would be in the band room. And at that time, you know, everybody would be out getting high. And I said, well, can you give us something that we can put together so we can stop getting high? And I thought drugs was like baby aspirin. I thought alcohol was like slip malts liquor or what is that gut rot? You know, we wasn't raised like that. You know, wasn't no alcohol. Crack, that's like a crack in the wall. It wasn't no crack, nothing like that. That's the way I grew up. Just a little country boy. Yeah. It was well monitored and well mannered, you know, but when we got out there in high school, you know, all those kids that was selling drugs and stuff, you could have that. But it wasn't really too much in my neighborhood where I lived right there in the valley. And if it was, they kept it away from us. Hanging around you, John.
Well, you keep saying that. But like I said, your family.
You was a mentor. And hey, I will always have you in my heart, a special place for you and your brother and our community, because we did have community.
Yeah.
We had Madrona, we had Hamilton, but we always went back to Miller Recreation where we had Mr. Cook, Mr. Brown, Mr. Cole, Dave Farr, and all of them guys, which was what they need now in the community.
Yeah, and Sam was a good friend, Pete White, all these guys.
And then we had Sam, who was that? The mayor then was Sam Smith.
Yeah. Well, he was a city council
that cared about the city.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, I don't like to think like, well, those days will never come back. We have to work to bring those days back.
The power of one to make a difference.
Yeah, and you heard about what just happened. We had 2 shootings in Rainier Beach, just back to back.
Speaking of that, I've been to more than 1,100 or 1,200 funerals here in the last 30 years, myself personally in ministry. And the ministry is just showing up when someone needs to be there. And what happens is when we don't go, things continue to happen. But if we show up, just the power of one can make a difference. Because most of the kids that I know that are tied up in the gangs, South End and in the central area, I know them, I know their parents, you know, and I make it a point to know them because they need to know that somebody loves them.
Yeah.
And that's at the Brooks Family Barber Shop. It's all about love. It's all about caring and living a life that's respectable. You know what I mean? Live a life that matters. That's what we need to do.
Sounds like a good idea.
We want to sit together. Eventually, we want to start a barber school there, right here in Columbia City.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, a barber school, because we're not going anywhere.
Well,
Yeah.
are you going to be, they've basically acquired all that property. Are you part of that acquisition that you're going to get a rebuild or the
Actually,
building
our
you own?
building has not been sold yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking forward to the building across the street, preferably.
Oh,
If
okay.
that is, hopefully we can get in on that lower floor across the street there on 39th.
Yeah. Okay.
And put a barber school there.
Oh, man,
And then we have to teach our kids with hands-on skills today because they're gonna need it. Everybody don't go to college. But as
Right.
I walk out throughout the community and we go north, south, east, and west, I see children that I'm a photographer and a videographer, as well as a barber, and as well as a pastor. And so when I go in the community now, the young man that have been in my influence, they're all doing something in that field.
That's great.
Uh-huh.
You have a special chair in your shop.
A view from the shop, from the chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on down. You're late already. Come on down.
Tell me about that. How you developed
View
that?
from the chair during the pandemic.
Yeah.
As what we went through. I've lost 76 friends through the COVID.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
The rest of your soul, you can't go north, south, east, or west. But God gave to me a view from the chair, and when from all ages, when they come in, I would ask them, how did they sustain the pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
How did you sustain the pandemic? And what is your purpose now that it's succeeding and subsiding? That what are you going to do now? And so you'd be surprised from the young people to the older people what they have to say about our community and about their life personally. Because after that, if we didn't get anything out of that 3 years of depression going through that, we just lost 3 years. But it doesn't make sense to waste time when we can do better, and we will do better, and we not shall overcome, we will overcome by showing up. Thank you for allowing me to share tonight. As a preacher, you don't give them a mic because I love to talk. So, but I'm talking about what I'm talking about. But I got into that, and ministry is just showing up and caring for the community. You have a lot of broken homes. A lot of times I never really meet the fathers until graduation, or maybe they make the pros or something like that. They may show up, but other than that, just you got to love them babies, man. You got to love them and love on them. In our barbershop, we offer, we have family rules on the wall. There's a little illustration I have on the wall. When you come in there, we have to talk about something, but they're not getting what they need for us communicating with one another. They're on the phone or whatever. When they come, we can talk about something. We have family rules on the wall, and we ask them to pick one. We'll talk about it. And so they won't leave the way that they came. You get a haircut in the conversation and some love.
Yeah.
Tony, what are some of the rules?
Some of the rules: laugh a lot, hug a lot, respect, family matters first, and be respectful, be polite. And that way they don't get that at home. You know what I mean? It's all right to be truthful, stand in your truth, purpose given, and when they come, so now you want to encourage them. Hey man, it's about loving one another, about respecting yourself. And if something's going on, if you see something, you say something.
Right.
And that is, it's confidentiality because it's our social club. And when people come in, the police come in as well as the people in the community. And when they come in, we talk, but it's all about in love and honor and respect. And it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, it
Matter of
does.
fact, we just had a young man, little Marcellus, just graduated from the UW. Now he's a doctor. We have a doctor in the community. Amen.
Amen.
Marcellus, Dawson, Sister Zena Dawson's son.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's a doctor now.
Well, you told me you have people coming in, and you have the view from the seat. You had like Chief Harris, former Chief Harris.
Chief Claude Harris comes in there. The first Pastor Philip, the first policeman. And it's interesting because we could have our own little sitcom because you never know who's going to come through that door.
Yeah, I know.
We have a little red carpet in there, and I'm going to say that we have a little red carpet in the floor. We call it Negro News.
Oh,
gosh. When you come in, I don't care whatever walk of life that you come in. If you sing, you pray, whatever you do, stand on that carpet, and I'll pull my camera out, put you on Facebook, and then you share with us. And the young man, he just got a Grammy, little Dixon.
Oh yeah,
one of my favorites. Now he just got a Grammy.
Olu?
Yeah.
Old Dixon, yeah.
So what's happening today is that you have to expose them. I love music, you know, and I tell them pull those instruments out from under the bed, dust them off, and come back because you never know. I've been going to the Jazz Alley lately and having a real good time. But the radio station, you guys did a wonderful illustration of Black History Month, and it just blew me away. I recorded that, and I would be more than happy to share with you and Tony and them. I mean, my grandkids got a chance to meet one of the first female Black Panthers. And I said, you might not know who she is, but you will know because they're known all around the world. And they were so excited, man. I'm going like, you guys really? So they want to come back and be a part of Rainier Radio Station, you know, editing and photography and videography and journalism. So, and yeah, we have Bud Becker. He had Black Masterpiece, another person. But in our community, we have so many pillars and so many that we just, I mean, a silent moment for them because they have all gone home now.
Yes, right.
Yes.
And so we've lost Reverend McKinney. I used to cut his hair. Pastor Houston, I used to cut his hair.
Yeah, Houston,
Bishop Drayton, you know, and these people that was pillars of our community, they're all gone now.
Yeah.
But about Pastor Manaway used to cut his hair. You know, Pastor Ranchford used to cut his hair. Bishop Tyson used to cut his hair. So it's our social club. But the thing about it is we all have to come together now. That's what I asked Reverend McKinney before he passed. Hey, man, what would you like for the company what would you like our community to see with the clergy? What would you like to really see happen? And he said one thing, for us to come together. Pastor Thornton used to cut his hair. He just passed. Pastor Brooks, Jerry Brooks, he just passed. All of them same thing, wishing for us as a ministry and community to come together.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah, and you can't, you know, I mean, when they come, you know, I'm always talking to the young people. I play a game called tag, you know, and when they come in, I'm going like, you ever heard the game tag, you know? So whatever you believe in, guess what? Tag you it. Go do it.
Yeah. Like that.
That's unbelievable.
But you know, ministry is a good part. It's a good stream of a foundation. It's a stream of love, and everything we have to teach them is how to do things in love. When they come to the barbershop, you know, it's like, what's on your mind? Can we help you? And you'd be surprised, man, an extra $5. For years, I would not cut the regular rate that every barber be cutting because families, you got single parents raising children.
Absolutely.
3 or 4 sons. So I would say, well, just give me what you can. And then when they graduate, now you can pay me what a haircut is worth. But a lot of them, I stayed in business and that was success because it's my community.
Yes.
You know, I remember when I had a shop at home and I would have the family to come by. And you know what? I said, parents, go on upstairs and cook something as long as you make me a plate and clean my kitchen. But other than that, when they could go to the mall and leave the kids there with me, and guess what? They would learn how to cut hair. They learn how to take pictures. They learn how to respect one another. And when I see them today in the community, and then it's always, I look at the Facts newspaper, and hats off to the Facts newspaper. That is our community obituary.
Yes, it is.
And it's a vital part because when we go in there, I'm looking like, Lord, please don't let be nobody in this month. This week. But it's always 1 or 2 or 3 down through the years, John.
Reverend Brooks, and speaking on obituaries, about, I don't know, I think about 2 years ago, I was reading in there and I saw my name.
Oh, no.
Yes, but it wasn't me. I mean, there was actually someone else named Brenda Charles.
Oh, wow.
But it was.
Hey, but you know, that have happened sometime. But to the people that are listening, if you utilize the newspaper, Facts newspaper, make sure you proofread what you put in there because a lot of times if they're understaffed, you know, they're going to put in there what you put in there the way you narrated it. You know what I mean? So don't blame them sometimes because they're really trying to do their best. That's one thing about it. We can have our own radio station. We can have our own newspaper, and we have to do our due diligence by being self-sufficient, by building the right people around and putting them in the right, and then telling these young people why they can do it.
Yep,
absolutely.
Reverend Brooks, we're going to get you back on again. We're out of time. Thank you very much.
That was good.
Yes, it goes fast.
Yes.
And on behalf of Rainier Avenue Radio .world and What's Cooking in Columbia City, Thank you very much, Reverend Tony Brooks. I'll give you a holler when I go by. I'll not walk by. I'll drive by.
So, John, don't forget, we have the Juneteenth events for this Saturday, and also Make Music Day on the 21st.
21st at the Columbus City Theater, as well as Pier 62. Saturday, we will be at the Rainier Beach Community Center for Juneteenth, 11 to 3. And we'll be on the air live. So come on down, Rev. All right.
Hey, I'll be in Los Angeles. My grandson is playing ball, so I'll be at the Hollywood Bowl for Juneteenth. But my grandsons with the Rotary Boys Club will be down in Los Angeles in Anaheim this weekend.
Well, congratulations.
So I'll get to do Juneteenth with my father and my kids. And Father's Day, happy Father's Day to everybody.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Juneteenth. Let's be forget. And if you're listening, go treat your father right. Take him out to dinner. And if you have to talk to him, give him a call.
Thanks, Reverend Tony Brooks.
I love you, Sister Brenda. Tell your husband I said hello. John, tell the wife I said hello.
Yes, I will do that. Thank you, Reverend Brooks.
Bye-bye.